Two things I've kind of noticed. I always love dynamics with couples. Shelley, you strike me as that you're driving this train in a lot of ways. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me how that dynamic works. And do you feel like you're carrying a lot of weight, or is it so? Because you were saying you're worried he's not going to be able to catch up. So give us some insight into how you're feeling about all that.
A couple of things. So when in our finances together, I'm the one that manages the budget, and we use Rocket Money. So like I'm the one that goes in and organizes everything. I ask him, hey, I would like for you to kind of know what's happening with the budget, sure. But he is not as engaged with it on a daily basis. Like sure. I'm in there every morning and every afternoon and every night, like multiple times a day. Like, oh, I know this charge came through. Did it show up in Rocket Money yet? Refresh. Like I want to make sure that everything's there. I'm obsessive about it, really, which doesn't stress me out or anything. That's just, I like just to know where everything is. Yeah. Where if Dustin were to even look at it, I would think on a daily basis, it would be overwhelming.
Especially first thing in the morning. That'd be a fast track to depression right there. But yeah.
But he does look at it like at least monthly to make sure, okay, like these are the things that are, tax exempt or for work or whatever. Mm-hmm. He'll kind of track everything that way. So I definitely am managing the day-to-day budget. But it's pretty easy because Dustin doesn't really fight me on it. I'm more of a spender than he is, and I'm still not a super extravagant spender. So it's not like he's swiping cards. I'm like, please stop. We don't have the money for that. He's not really super engaged in the day to day, but he's also not causing problems. So it's like, you know what? If that's what keeps you relaxed, then all good. It's
so
not,
it seems like you'll have a good balance there.
Yeah,
You kind of know
I think so.
what you like and what you
keeps making good calls too.
Well, I think as a husband, as long as she's happy, you're happy. I mean, in a lot of ways. I mean, that's there's a lot of dynamic in relationships.
And I mean, she's driving the train, and she's not killing us by a long shot.
Yeah.
So we're doing fine.
The second part was I'm looking at y'all's debt, and we'll talk about the mortgage looks reasonable. Student loans, we'll talk about that in a second. I didn't recognize what Fortivo was.
So when we bought the house, we got a security system installed. As a woman that lived alone for 10 plus years, like your house has to have a security system. So we got that installed, and with the cameras and the door locks and the sensors, all of that, they're like, hey, you can do this 0 interest, like $4,000 for all the equipment, so you don't have to pay the equipment up front.
Okay.
I actually forgot that we even had that because it's 0 interest. It's one of those things like $70 a month, whatever we pay. If we wanted to pay that off tomorrow, we could, not a problem. But it's 0% interest, so I've gone back and forth like, I can have that money working. It's on automatic payment, so I'm not worried that I'm gonna miss a payment and wreck my credit, anything like that. That's what that is.
0% until it's paid off. Like
yes.
That's not
okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I think they show it as like, they're like, oh, well, if you want a credit card on this line of credit, we can give it to you. Yeah. It's literally just there for the equipment.
So debt currently doesn't look to be that much of an issue outside of the student loans, and that's even been under deferment. So we'll cover that in greater detail. But have y'all ever had any troubles with debt? Because that's another struggle that a lot of Americans have is just consumer debt.
She learned her lessons. I learned mine back in the day too. My brother used to work for Dave Ramsey.
Okay.
Oh, and so we had the whole, we were paying off credit cards with credit cards back in the day, trying to anyway.
Okay.
And so we did the whole, my boy's mom and I did the whole snowball thing back in the day when we first moved here. And ever since then, we've been able to stay out of that hole.
Sure. Awesome.
And because
what a valuable lesson to learn early on, right?
Yeah.
You learn that early on, you stay away from it.
Yeah, and so I came into that with at least not a negative, or at least not that negative.
That's a big benefit.
And I'm kind of in the same boat. My first husband and I got married really young. We had a car loan and we had some credit card debt. And we basically did the Dave Ramsey, like snowball and everything too. Yeah. We actually ended up paying off all of our debt with the exception of our mortgage at the time, like right before we got divorced. So when we separated and got divorced, we didn't have anything that we had to split. He let me keep the house. I gave him what we had in savings, and it was kind of like, that's it.
Okay. Got it.
We didn't have kids or anything. And so I moved to Nashville, and selling the money that I made off that house basically funded my move to Nashville, got my down payment on my house here. And then I was pretty good. Had a not a good year in 2016, basically 2017. I was like, the year of Shelby, I just do whatever I want because I was healing myself after a bad relationship. And I racked up some credit card debt, paid that off by the end of 2018. And
was that depression, doom spending, or was it rewarding yourself because you were now free? What do you attribute that to?
It was a little bit of everything. So I was definitely, I had a hard depression whenever I moved to Nashville, like moved away from my family. I'd literally just gone through a divorce and didn't really give myself time to kind of heal from that. And then I was in an abusive relationship, unfortunately. And so it was a lot of different things of like, I'm going to take care of myself and I'm going to just do whatever I want to do. Also, as a side note in that, I had co-signed on a car that I ended up literally having to pay for completely because the other person I co-signed for never made a single payment.
Oh, wow.
So I had just finished paying that off. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to worry about me. Yeah. I'm just going to do what I want to do. I got veneers, a beautiful smile. Like, what do I want to do? You know what I mean? Like, it was just, and I was 24. Like, I was young. Yeah. And so that was my year. And we're not talking like 50, 60, 70,000.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. How far did it go? How much in debt did you get?
Maybe 15 to 18,000.
Like,
that's not nothing.
And you paid it all off in the next year.
And was it just a wake up one day like,
months?
oh my gosh, what have I done?
Yeah, I was
the
like,
year of Shelby has to come to a close or what?
All right, this is enough. Like, relax. You need to calm down. Like, let's get back in order. Okay. And I mean, that whole time I had still been like, once I started my corporate job, I had still been, putting money aside in retirement, all of that. I had been doing that, but I had a decent income for a single woman in Nashville. And so I was like, I can splurge on a few things. And then I buckled down. It's like, all right, got to be responsible. And I've continued to use credit cards ever since then, but I've just never had a balance. I pay it off. So I've never, zero interest, never paid interest on a credit card since that time. But I continued, we use credit cards and get the points and benefits without having to pay interest.
It's kind of like we say credit card use is A-OK.
Yeah.
But credit card debt, no way.